I'm Roy from Roy's Garage. Today I'm going to be working on a 2013 Mazda 5 2.5 liter automatic. I'm going to show you how to replace the brake pads and brake rotors. So these are the tools I'm going to be using today to do this job. Hood prop, rubber mallet, ball peen hammer, 3/8 ratchet, a 7mm Allen wrench socket, 17mm wrench, 9mm wrench, 2 different flat tip screwdrivers, an air gun, Phoenix brake flusher, brake clean, anti-seize, ceramic grease, suction ball, a bottle of water with a hole in it, and my caliper compressor. These are the parts I'm going to be using today to do this job. Front brake pads, front rotors, and .3 brake fluid. Okay, first I'm going to be removing this spring with a screwdriver. Just pop it out. Okay, then I'm going to be removing my bleeder screw, this rubber cap, and I'm going to be loosening the bleeder screw. Okay. So now I'm going to be removing these 2 caliper bolts. There's these plastic covers you got to remove. Just remove them. And with my Allen wrench, 7mm, you put it in here and then you remove the caliper bolts. So I'm going to be removing the caliper. Removing the pad. Removing these 2 caliper mounting bolts. Removing my rotor. Okay, so I'm going to be squeezing in my piston. So with my piston compressor, putting it in here, squeezing it, and I'm going to be opening up the bleeder screw. So when I squeeze a piston in, all the fluid can come out. The dirty fluid comes out. You don't want the dirty fluid to go back up to your master. And lock it up. So I'm going to be removing the inside brake shoes from the caliper. You just got to pull it and it comes out. So I'm going to be removing these bolts, caliper bolts. I'm going to be lubricating it. So I got some ceramic grease. I'm going to be lubricating the caliper right in here. And my pins, I'm going to be lubricating the pins and sliding it in the caliper. So I'm going to be using this coated rotor. Don't remove the coating. Just shoot it down with some brake clean just to get any oil off. Leave the coating on. So when you drive this vehicle, you're going to hear a grinding sound. That's the coating coming off. Eventually the grinding sound will stop and the coating will all come off. So before I put the new rotor on, I'm going to be putting some anti-seize right around the hub. So the next time when you take off the rotor, it won't be stuck. And just put a nut on. You can put 1 or 2 nuts just so the rotor doesn't wobble on the hub. So I'm going to be lubricating the caliper mount. This is where the brake pads is going to sit in. There is no shim on this. So you just lubricate it. Then we're going to put this mount on. So we're going to be putting on the new pad. This is the thickness of the new pad. This is the old pad. Big difference in the thickness. Okay, so we're going to be putting on the inside pad first. So we're just going to put a little bit ceramic grease right on the piston. And a little bit on the pad. This is where the piston is going to ride. You don't need very much. Then we're going to put the pad into the piston. Just got to force it in. Okay. So we're going to be lubricating this side of the caliper. So I'm be putting on the outside pad. Now we're going to be sliding the caliper over. Make sure that the caliper bolts are all the way in before we put it on. So now we can tighten up the caliper. Okay, don't forget to put these rubber caps on. Now we're going to install the spring. Now we're going to flush out the brake system. Okay, first we're going to suck out the brake fluid from the master cylinder. Okay, so I'm going to be opening up my bleeder screw And with my Phoenix brake flusher, I'm going to be pumping fresh fluid from the caliper up to the master. So I'm going to be sucking out the brake fluid again. So I'm going to be filling up my reservoir. So I'm going to be starting up the engine. So I'm going to be pumping the brake pedal up and down no more than halfway until I feel pressure. Okay, it feels good. So now with my hood prop, I'm going to be pressurizing the brake system, one side against the brake pedal, one side against the seat. So I'm going to be opening up my bleeder screw to make sure there's no air in the system. That looks good. So lock it up. So I'm going to be shooting some water on my bleeder screw. Brake fluid is water soluble. So then with my air hose, I'm going to drying off the bleeder screw. So now what I'm going to do is pressurize the brake system with my hood prop again. So pressurize it maybe about 15-20 seconds. Check for leaks. This guy looks real dry. Put your rubber cap on. Put your wheels on, drop the car down and road test. So that's how you replace the front pads and front rotors. If you have any questions, comment below. Don't forget to subscribe, give me the like button, and see you in the next video. Aloha.